Recently, I played a game called Beverly Hills Cop for PlayStation 2, and it's genuinely one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen in my life. Little did I know in the moment though, that same circus who brought us this, called Blast! Entertainment, gave us an entire catalog of filth to sift through. So I picked 10 of their games at random to see what other wonderful experiences they will give to us. I seriously can't wait to find out what other crimes against humanity they've committed. I thought going with a safe pick first would be perfect. Casper's Scare School. Casper definitely looks happy to be here, with this other character off a bean or something. Why are her eyes purple? Oh man, you can play this with friends? I'm not gonna do that though. I'll hog this riveting game to myself, thank you. Level 1 is Leaving for School. After Casper's suitcase burst open, all of its contents were thrown all over the mansion. Find his stuff within the time limit. Sure, I'll help his little Stay Puft ass. Ooh, man, the controls are rancid. Running around and turning feels like I'm driving a goddamn trailer truck. And I know kids are dumb, but is Casper really that stupid to the point he sticks to walls when he touches them? Casper just keeps like walking in place for a few seconds when you butt into one until the game decides you can move. Doorways are your worst nightmare, apparently, making it much more difficult than it should be to finish what we were born to do, and that is pick up Casper's stuff, like giant picture frames and lamps, I think. You'd assume he'd be getting stopped at the school front door with an accusation of him trying to build some sort of weapon in there with the stuff I'm grabbing, but yes, bring all of this stuff to school, Casper. I don't even want to admit how long this level took me to beat. I almost gave up, assuming the entire game was going to be the same thing on repeat, just running around grabbing things. But Casper Scare School brought my ass to school and taught me a valuable lesson of not making assumptions. When I conquered the beast, the next level tells me, sail around the city picking up fellow Scare School passengers. I thought they'd be students, but sure. Watch out for their cars though, they can be dangerous. Right when you move, holy fucking shit, what is even going on? I'm flying so fast, I can barely control myself. Smashing into everyone's homes, running kids over in front of their houses. If I saw this thing outside, I'd think the world is ending. And also, what are they talking about? Watch out for their cars. If they tried to step to me while I'm driving this thing, I'd pancake them right into the pavement. I don't need to watch out for anything. The world needs to watch out for me. This level was obviously easy. How could it not be while wielding power of this degree? And if we are going by the lore building, I'm assuming we brought everyone to school for the next level, where we are now racing for some reason. And I know what you're thinking, this looks like so much fun. It's really not. My only takeaway is that the other kids suck and Casper doesn't. Until I swallow my own words in the segment immediately afterwards. It was getting pretty rough trying to control myself and race inside of a building with tight corners with that whole getting stuck to walls epidemic that's happening here. Something that is just hilarious to me is watching my opponents also get stuck on the walls, not able to move. When the AI are struggling to play, you know it's an issue. Of course, I'm sure a lot of backbreaking hours went into this game to develop all 6 of these levels, with 2 of them being the exact same thing, so maybe we should give them a pass here. Clearly times were rough because the circus ran out of ideas after the boat segment and just made every level afterwards a race. Like, when I finished race number 2, I entered a tennis court where you just jump over poles, racing the other kids. Then entered a final race against Thatch, whoever that is. He's turning everyone to stone apparently, and I need to stop him. A task I cannot conquer because the game keeps crashing. I've only been blessed to grace my eyes on the final level twice out of the 10 or so whirls I gave it. This level has glitchy textures galore and is unbelievably laggy. Apparently, a PS2 console cannot handle the power of the Scare School. I will say though, this is one of the few games out there where you can have a child get hit by a car, so at least this game was progressive in some way. A small part of me is curious of what happens in the ending, but it's most likely just blank nothingness or a screen spelling congratulations wrong. I will never have the ability to see the ending thanks to the crashing, it's just not possible. So what happens when you can't get what you want? You play a party game without a party. Jumanji. A game you probably didn't even know existed until now. Like and subscribe for more trivia. I, of course, want to play as the monkey character. Does it have a name? Nope. I don't remember any of these characters from the movie, frankly. We do have a mode called Movie, though. No idea what it means, but it's called Movie. Look at this pristine animation. They don't make them like they used to, right? My first minigame was just Animal Abuse the Game, slinging boulders at Microsoft Paint vultures from a red pentagon-ass hut. It's really strange how stiff the controls are in a game I only use 3 buttons in, left, right, and X. You'd figure monkey press X, monkey ooga booga with D-pad would be silky smooth, not even remotely close to that. It may come off as a big stone cold stunner, I fucking lost to the vultures. However, my quest was not over because there's always more to come. Whoa, no way! Another game we sit inside of a hut shooting rocks? This time there's a twist. We're battling each other and switch spots periodically for no rhyme or reason. And I love how some of these spots are completely unfair, like this one. I can just pelt this poor soul below me for all eternity and he can't do anything about it. It may be a dumb question, but was this tested like one time? My favorite part of the entire game, though, has to be the philosophical knowledge we are blessed with before each game. Socrates and Plato, move the fuck over. Jumanji PlayStation 2 is here to stay. Throw your spear with skill and speed, so a new hut your foe will need. Flowing downstream, this ain't no cruise. With alligators about, it's not just a game you could lose. Shit, I better take this seriously then. My life is being threatened. There's just one problem. It's kinda hard to take a game seriously when the most important aspect of a party game was overlooked. You'd assume they'd be simple to pick up and play, but I don't even know what the hell's going on here. I'm just swinging a boat paddle at 3 clones of myself, skirting down the river at Mach -5. There was even a finish line that I crossed before everyone else and I still lost. You don't get bonus points for coming in first? And the questions don't stop there, because that's honestly all Jumanji PS2 is, a giant question mark. Look at this push animation. 2006. Here, I'm just playing an alternate dimension version of Pac-Man, grabbing fruit and avoiding lions that are almost impossible to get away from. A little part of me is wondering, did they even have permission to make a Jumanji game? Or is there some sort of legal loophole I don't know about, where you can use the name and have an aesthetic very similar to the movie, but have absolutely nothing to do with it, allowing them to put their own sociopathic ideology behind it? Phoenix Games did their own version of that, so it's possible. Wait, so that means Blast exclamation point Entertainment was a trend follower and not a trendsetter. How depressing. Unless you consider their next idea of making a game about a movie that has no right having a game made for it trend setting, then maybe it's not so depressing. Babe, the video game. Seriously? Before we even talk about it, while I was looking through Blast's amazing list of games, I just saw this and thought it was funny. Babe, PlayStation 2 game loosely based on the film. What does this even mean? Once upon a time, there was a little pig. He was a champion sheep pig. Very soon, he will have to defend his title at the sheep trials. What is this, WWE? What's the stipulation? This game has a weird-ass isometric angle, making it really awkward to move since it's only on a grid and not free movement. And I know that's a big ask to have in 2007. Technology must have just not evolved inside the Blast Entertainment studio yet. They just missed the news report. What they didn't miss on, though, was giving us the ability to sniff a sheep's asshole. Or whatever I'm supposed to be doing. The sheep is nodding its head in enjoyment, so clearly I'm doing something right. I continued to play, figuring out what's going on, as you do, until I ran into this. What the fuck is this character? There are a bunch of organisms, we'll call them, scattered about that you can have the pleasure of talking to. These are horrifying. I thought this was supposed to be a game made for kids. The only normal looking character I saw was this dog in his own version of a wheelchair. Outside of viewing the horrors of whatever universe this game takes place in, all you do is move stuff around and open doors to guide a sheep to an exit. It's essentially something you'd find on a plug-and-play console. It's boring as shit, and nothing will ever be remembered about this game aside from pure fear from these monkey people swinging into your dreams at night. Fear is a feeling that also comes when the name Little Britain is spoken. Now, this is a special game. I'll admit, I lied in the beginning about picking every game at random because this is one that needed to be played. Some call this the worst game ever made. Today, we're gonna find out if that's true or not. Part of me doubts it, but we'll see. Our first level is called Darkly No One, I think. Guide Vicky through the park avoiding hazards. grind on rails and collect CDs, fill up Vicky's trick meter so she can do crazy stunts. Dude, no way! Another game where we only press 3 buttons? That's what I like to see. Minimize complexity and maximize fun. The best part about this is how delayed the one button you press is. You need to time your press ever so perfectly to not fall on your ass and teleport backwards. This is what you call skill. Not good control, but control as delayed as the programmer's brain. And I'm sure you're wondering what the crazy stunts are. Their definition of crazy is making me move in slow motion with fire coming out from behind me. Love to see it. I always knew it wasn't just ChatGPT that can come up with good ideas. After a whole 15 minutes, I completed level 1. It gives us real scenes from the TV show this game is based on that I cannot show, unfortunately. But more importantly, the real question is, did completing level 1 allow us to transcend to a whole new level of entertainment? It absolutely did. We have the pleasure of spamming a special button I'm sure you can guess at this point. If you couldn't, it's the X button. Running our way to diving boards and pulling off tricks midair. Tricks that are not impressive to anyone. What is impressive, however, is the ability this obese man has to fucking levitate back to the pool's surface without moving a single body part. He hovers down, hovers back up. Never did I know Poseidon's right-hand man lived amongst us in the flesh. This level was just so much fun, I don't really want to talk about it anymore. So instead of that, I'd rather just bask in the glory of even more creativity. Little Britain decided to give us an all-new game type. You run around a store picking up brown dots. And you may think you've seen this before in a game called like Man Pack or something. You haven't. This is a completely original recipe. Awesome, more animal abuse. This time it's on frogs. Hit them with your stick. This is fun, apparently. If I told you to guess the name of this level, there's no way anyone could ever do it. It's actually called Slut. Awesome. Just as awesome as this soccer game, or football game. Regardless of what you call it, this is an absolute disgrace to the entire sport. Nothing screams more joy than pressing X to then spam X to power up your kick. The depth of these games is truly astounding. I also love how the ball magnetizes towards the kids after kicking it. This shit turns right into their feet. Like, what kind of powers do they have? Another thing I don't understand is the ruling. Right here, I kick the ball, it flies into this kid, knocks him down, I get 1,000 points for it, but I still need to restart. What the hell? Eventually, I did find out the almighty tactic of kicking the ball in the same pathway repeatedly until the timer went down so I could win. Yay. My entire ride playing Little Britain culminated into me driving a two-wheeled vehicle, going through the streets, mowing people over, flamboyantly running around, which is the reason I call this bike a vehicle. How can you run a human being over with this thing and not be phased, but a fence or wall? Nope, can't do it, impossible. There just aren't many words one can use to describe this game. Like here, I'm playing a worse version of Columns from the Sega and vomiting on people's feet who don't even seem to care I'm doing it. Hopefully this guy will have something waiting for him when he's walking back to his car. Similar to Babe, sometimes there are things you shouldn't make games on. This was definitely one of them. Is it the worst game ever made? No, that goes to a completely different special game. All I can really say about Little Britain is it's definitely very mind-boggling, we can put it that way. Also incredibly tasteless in a lot of ways. I'm just stuck in a world of confusion right now after what I just dealt with. I don't even know how to transition into the next game. Home Alone on the PlayStation 2, releasing in 2006. The last Home Alone thing before this was in 2002, so why not capitalize on the hype 4 years later? Before we even play this, Home Alone is a movie. We all know what happens in it, we know the characters, and this game claims to be based on it, so you assume it will be based on it. But questions start arising when you get to see Kevin here, then Carl, then Kelly, then Carly. Who are these people? I don't remember them from the movie. Is this trying to build on a Home Alone multiverse that doesn't exist? It's possible. I don't remember the movie taking place during the summertime either. This looks unrecognizable to the Home Alone heads out there, mainly because this has nothing to do with the movie. And I know it's Home Alone. Again, probably something you shouldn't really turn into a game, but if you're gonna do it, can you at least try? This is a really bad case of false advertising. You'd figure someone could file legal action against this. The only things related to the movie here is having burglars and the name Kevin. I'm not even in a fucking house. Instead, I'm stuck in whatever historical iteration of purgatory this is, running away from a group of burglars trying to touch whatever kid you chose to play as. Thankfully, we are able to defend ourselves in some way though. We can throw spiders, irons, flour, even drop oil on the ground, all while trying to grab toolboxes to lock doors scattered around the level, then use those said weapons to kill the burglar afterwards. It's all about memorizing their paths and where the weapons are. This game has whack-ass hit detection when it comes to using weapons, obviously, like crazy, I know. I had plenty of moments where I drop oil or this wet cement, whatever it is, on the ground, and the bug-eyed freak walks straight through it and touches me. Bullshit. The biggest question on your mind, I'm sure, is do you go inside of a house at all throughout the game? Yes. Halfway through, you finally enter the thing that's in the title. I'm not alone, I'm just home. In a weird way, even with all this hogwash, I actually kinda like the game for some reason. There is some enjoyment that can be had. It's not a good game or anything, but you really need to lock in while going through it, because Home Alone can get quite rage-inducing, so it keeps your focus. It doesn't give you that tying shoelaces around your neck levels of anger, just a simple desk slam. Until you lose. This game expects you to go through 10 whole levels in one go. If you get hit 3 times in a level, you restart from the beginning of the game. There's no checkpoints and no saving. I'm not sure what kind of lame brain, idiotic ass idea that was. How is someone supposed to reliably lock like 28 doors, deal with relentless amounts of people 3 times their age, with a smile and not fail? It just won't happen unless you live and breathe Home Alone PS2. I decided to live and breathe save states instead, just to see what happens after finishing the game. Fuck you. If you can't get a household favorite movie down as a game, can you do it with an obscure TV show? Xena Warrior Princess, the video game. Just by looking at this main menu, I can already tell this is going to be an experience. Hey guys, if we're gonna put text on the screen with no voice acting, can it be legible? I've never watched the show, so I'm not fully sure what is happening. Possibly they built it off of an episode. Ares here is telling me after all these eons, it's time for me to return to his side and rule the universe with him. If I don't, Gabriella is going to die, where I'm guessing this is all being communicated telepathically since nobody's mouths are moving, and we're off into the wild. Finally, we play something that resembles a game of the time period, one with some serious action. Look at this scuffle. Pure, raw dog hand-to-hand combat, beating on a bunch of cretins who think they can stop a person who has a war cry like this. What is that? Did a human being really sit in a booth and do this? As I was progressing through the castle, fluidly obviously, animation this stunning is rare, I had to do a bit of platforming, move some boxes, and glitch around in midair. I'm not able to climb up because an archer is just standing there. Apparently his ass is so large, his hitbox covers the pathway. Then afterwards, something really weird happened. I fell off a tower, died, then just appeared inside of a sewer. What? As I've been playing these games, this whole time, the entirety of my brain is stunned at how shallow most of these experiences are. When I went through some of the Phoenix Games catalog previously, I found at least one that is decent. So far, just look. What can a soul in the world even say about this? In the first part of this game, you go through towers, pressing 2 buttons, moving into an area that is a reskin of the area you just finished. You can't even make that up, but someone did. The fighting extends no further than pressing 1 button, but I will give it to Xena here. She is so special, the X button transitioned over to the square button. Now that is creativity. Even more flabbergasting than all of this is that I sat my ass down to go through the entire thing. And we do have an actual boss fight, Ares, the one man who tried his best to intimidate me, and this battle seriously reminded me of staring down the 5'4", 90-pound kid in grade school with the biggest mouth on planet Earth. He was teleporting all around, doing his best with godlike powers, but as I learned from my playthrough of Mortal Kombat Special Forces, all you need to do is press square. Well, my dear Ares, I win again. Did you think it would end any other way? No, actually. I seriously can't believe I wasted an hour and 15 minutes of my life to finish this game and have absolutely nothing to take away from it. Alright, the title of this video has turned into a complete lie at this point because I have played a lot more than 10 games. I keep sifting and playing Garfield Lasagna World Tour, Johnny Bravo The Hukka Mega Mighty Ultra Extreme Datarama, The Water Horse Legend of the Deep, all ass. It's not even funny ass. Out of all 3 games, the most notable thing I can say I did was kick Odie across a pit full of water. There was a second I was hopeful though, when I picked up a suit in this Garfield game. I thought it was gonna become a Garfield first-person shooter. That would have been a knee slapper, but no. They don't even let you have fun when you try. I just wanted to shoot a dog with my gun here, and I couldn't. In Big John's game, it was just me sitting there drooling on myself. 15 minutes of game time, I only played 2 minigames. I got to use a hammer to make a dot go up, and sucked up mice in a vacuum cleaner. The only enjoyable part was watching the cat glitch inside the floor and spin around. Water Horse is literally a game where they reuse the same exact level 3 times. I feel like I'm going crazy living in a universe where this stuff is okay. So I hope Top Gun will be something of substance. And wow, you can actually choose different types of weaponry to go into battle with. Typically I'm being sarcastic when I say this, but that's impressive for one of these games. No way are these guys trying to do a remaster of Superman 64 right now. Fly through the squares. After I do this, I blow up a bunker and level 1 completed. That's it? Okay. It appears the thought behind Top Gun is this format. Why break the formula that's established in level 1? Ride it all the way home, just like the women ride Jake Conway. Fly through squares, blow up a bunker. Fly to one square, blow up planes. It's a very simple game, and honestly, if this was 1999, maybe this could be passable. Also, there's more than pressing just one button, so that's something, which is still insane. That's all it takes for one of these games to be considered passable. Relatively speaking, obviously. I'm really starting to wonder now, is Blast Entertainment worse than Phoenix? This is just pathetic. It's so difficult to even grasp entertainment out of any of these things. On top of all this, you know what's even more sad? Beverly Hills Cop is looking to be their best creation. A sentence I never thought I'd say, but fucking wow, it's seriously looking to be the case. So I thought to myself, Cars, can you screw that up? Absolutely you can. Alpha Teens on Machines. This is a game where you are behind the wheel and can't even turn. Even when decelerating, you're basically locked into a straight path. These guys have the audacity to make you fight people with controls like this, and even make you do an escort mission. How long was the development time on Adam here? Seriously, like 2 weeks? At this point, I tried looking on their website to see if I can get any more information about them and their claims to fame. Blast is the leading video game company aimed exclusively at the younger children's market. We develop new content based on recognized and family-orientated licenses from movies, TV, classic characters, and toys. Parents can be sure that our content is safe and accessible for their kids and good value for money. Kids can be sure that the games are fun and challenging for their age group. Sure, it's funny how the challenge only comes from how crippled the controls are in like 99% of these games. These all released when we had stuff like Lego Star Wars for the kids to play. And to wrap it back to Casper Scare School, kids are dumb, we saw it in that game, but they aren't dumb enough to think these games would be entertaining. Blast Entertainment has to be a monkey see, monkey do company with Phoenix games. There's no doubt in my mind they were just trying to emulate what Phoenix was doing. The prices of their games are exactly the same, quality is similar, and both companies were established in Europe, attempting to use notable IPs to leverage sales. The only thing Blast is missing is them bragging about having a 4 to 5 month development time per game on their website. And what's horrifying about all of this is that it must have actually been working. The only time another company will copy filth like this is if money is being generated. At the very least, Blast got the rights to use these IPs somehow. They were probably just incredibly cheap due to them all being 4 to 5 years old while Blast was making games about them. So I guess they weren't fully psychopathic like Phoenix Games was. The only question that remains is which is worse, Phoenix Games or Blast Entertainment? It might be recency biased, but I genuinely think Blast might actually be worse. When their best game is Beverly Hills Cop, what is anyone even supposed to say about that? At least Phoenix had furry tails. I don't know, what do you think? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments about that because I'm genuinely curious. And if you somehow made it to the end, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out my last video about the worst rated PlayStation 1 games. As always, take very good care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all again in the next video.